Hello, all you positive heads out there. It's so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we are super happy to have you here, and we just ask that you bring an open mind and heart to your listening experience and to be prepared to explore vantage points that I'm convinced will help shift or solidify your current understanding of the ultimate nature of reality in a way that is extremely empowering. Speaking of exploring powerful perspectives, I'm super excited to announce the release of my very first book, The Golden Key: Modern Alchemy to Unlock Infinite Abundance. If you're ready to alchemize the circumstances in your life so that your abundance expands to an entirely new level in 2021, head over to goldenkey.gift to download the audio or ebook as my gift to you by using the code POSITIVEHEAD. All right, all you positive heads, welcome. Here we grow again. It's a magical Monday here in the studio. We're at it again, raising our collective vibrations and coming out of the COVID chrysalis. What a journey, huh? Whew, it's been an intense few days. I had a pretty intense experience the other night with a friend, channeling where she was having a channeling experience, and some of the messages that came through were pretty intense. Actually, I don't think I'm going to go into it today. I think what I'll do is I'll actually have her on and maybe we'll talk about some of it. Yeah. I just decided that right now. I'll have some good story time for you guys. In the meantime, before we jump into today's topic of conversation, I wanted to take a moment and read a review on Amazon for my book, my first book, The Golden Key, getting some really great reviews starting to roll in. And so this one came in from Susie Rodriguez, and Susie said, enlightening and inspiring. I was so excited to read Brandon's book, and it did not disappoint. I've been a follower of his for a while and have enjoyed his other works, the Positive Head Podcast, The Mystic Manor, Optimistic, all uplifting and bringing awe of wonder and delight, my favorite things. I have recommended the book to all my friends that I knew would enjoy it, which is super fun. I'm about to join in the golden game he talks about in the book. Looking forward to the journey. A big, big thanks to Brandon for sharing himself and his abundance formulas. Yeah, guys, the abundance has really been flowing. Susie, thank you for taking the time to write that review. And, it's the same, I used to always read the podcast reviews on Apple iTunes, and same there. I've been reading those, and I think I'm going to start reading some of those again because it just feels really great to acknowledge those that take the time to just give me that feedback, because it really not only fuels me so much, but it helps us to reach new people. So if you review on Amazon, it's going to help the book to reach new people. If you review the podcast on, Apple, it's going to help us to reach new ears and new hearts. So I just greatly appreciate it. And if you guys haven't read the book, of course, you can go to goldenkey.gift, use the code POSITIVEHEAD. You can download the audio or ebook or both. They say if you read and listen simultaneously, you retain more information. So that's a thing. We just launched the Golden Game Facebook group as well. So it's just a place for everyone who's playing the game, which is exercises outlined at the end of the book to drum up more abundance in your life. And I'd love to have more people in there. I really want to get the energy cooking in there because it's about creating a collective vibration. So check the book out, join the Golden Game. You can do all that at goldenkey.gift, and then, join the Facebook group ultimately as well. So, very, very cool. Very, very excited to dive into today's topic as well. What I want to talk about is a quote that I just received from, I think, actually, someone sent this to me last week. I think it might have been my son, Bradley, who's like the most sweet. He's such a sweet soul. And he sent me, it's actually a Bible quote from 1 Corinthians 13, 4-8. I don't quote the Bible a bunch, but there's some really profound wisdom in there. And this particular quote on love. So I want to take a moment and read it. Some of you probably heard it, but definitely worth hearing again. So here it goes. Love is patient. is kind, does not envy, does not boast, is not proud, does not dishonor others, is not self-seeking, is not easily angered, keeps no record of wrongs, does not delight in evil, rejoices with the truth, always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. Woo! That's quite the definition, right? Such a powerful thing. I haven't really thought much what I would go into, but around this, just whatever came up, and let's just talk about some of these things. So, love is patient. For me, this has been one of the biggest lessons in my own life. Is I've always been go, 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 go. And I've even said it. I've told the story many times. Patience is not my strongest attribute. It is not a virtue that, I claim to possess in great abundance, which, as you know, isn't a great story to tell. So love is patient. I can be patient. And every time we choose to be patient when we're, feeling anxious or overly excited about something, think of it as the universe is wanting us to learn that lesson. And I've worked really, really hard at that one. Being kind, the next one, a little easier for me. I've always been naturally very kind. And if you ever find yourself being, that's one of the 4 gates we talked about recently. Is it kind? So whenever you are, if you are synonymous with all these things, you're essentially becoming, you are being love. You are being just a vibrational reflection of this most potent, powerful energy in all of creation. If you're being patient, if you're being kind, are you envying? Envy is one that I think is really, really easy in today's world. I've talked about it a lot. And one of the hacks that I always throw out about this is if you see something that you admire, don't envy it. Instead say, wow, I'm seeing that reflection of something in another that I would like for myself. I'm drawing it closer. I'm drawing it closer, instead of seeing the city in the distance. I think of Vegas just because they're so flat and you can see it from far. And, it's like, what if as soon as you saw it, you're like, oh gosh, I'm envious I'm not there. No, you're headed there. You're going to hit the jackpot, right? You're on your way to hit your jackpot. And that signpost, you're seeing it from a step or two removed, that can flip envy from envy to excitement. Like, and it feels really good to see something in another that we like, we want for ourselves. I was talking to a friend earlier, and she was talking about actually the same friend who's did the channeling stuff, and she's an actress, and was saying, a friend got a big role that she didn't even get an audition for, and at first that first instinct was to be like, I should have had it. And it's like, no, actually, what's for me will always be for me. And I'm really happy for her. I bet she worked really, really hard to make this happen. And so it's just being aware, catching it if you're in that envious state, and flipping the script, telling a different story, not boasting. Like, if a quick way to really make something that's really cool not seem so cool is to like brag about it, in a way that's like obnoxious. Like, hold on, are you trying to impress me, yourself? Are you insecure? Not necessary. We've all been there. We've all had those moments. We've all done it, and we've all seen it in others, and it's just not that attractive, right? So I think that's probably easier for a lot of people who are at the point in their journey where they're tuning into this broadcast, that, boasting just, yeah, not so sexy. Love is not proud. So, that one is interesting because, I think it's having pride in yourself. It's that razor's edge. It's a fine line. Being proud of yourself, I think they mean really it's meaning not in a negative way, like overly prideful, like to the point of disconnection, and not in a non-loving way. Love does not dishonor others. Part of that, I'll reference it just as little tidbits, part of that channeling thing, that experience that I had the other night that was so powerful, does not dishonor others. It was like, she was just like, truly, you can't imagine how in it together you all are. So anytime you're dishonoring another, it's kind of like really foolish because of how in it you are with that other that you're dishonoring. It's not self-seeking. Love is not self-seeking. So once again, there can be a good kind of selfish when it's in the right context. You are not, I think here what they're referring to is you're not just, it's all about me at all costs. Like all I can think about is what's good for me. As you really tap into the vibration of love more and more, it feels really good to consider others and to think about others. And, I was talking about this with someone the other day, and I was like, I found I get a lot out of doing, they say, he really tells a judge of character of what you do when no one's looking. And like doing something that I know will benefit someone I'll never meet or see. Let's say I rented a car, or I don't know, I'm just making something up, and I go the extra mile to make sure it's like perfect for them when they get it, even though, I go the extra mile to clean up or whatever. Just an example. So, doing these things where it's like, this person, I want them to benefit. I'll never get any praise for it. No one knows it. But man, it really feels good when you start thinking of others. And when you take into the account, like how truly connected you are, that is, that's that good kind of selfish, right? You're benefiting an extension of yourself. Love is not easily angered. Whew. If you can just take a deep breath when you catch yourself, just, I saw a quote earlier, and it was like, the greatest remedy for anger is delay. Or when you're angry, this is the perfect time not to speak or act, and creating that delay and allowing yourself the time to like come down from the state that is not, it's just not the state to act from. And just choosing those perspectives that make it, like it's not about me and the person that is maybe angering me. It's between me and God. It's like, this is just a test for me to see how expanded I can be, and how as Eckhart Tolle says, can I be the space for this? Next one is love keeps no record of wrongs. So it's just like not holding on to so much. I think back, you guys have heard me talk about the betrayal story with my business partner. That's now a story of redemption. And, the difference between myself and my brother, the way, I just told it as a story of this was meant to happen. It was an opportunity in disguise for me. And now because of that, it's transformed into something so delightful, and all this abundance came from it, and a renewed friendship. And, instead of, my brother's like, the record of wrong was very well documented and very held close to his heart. And then it's like, well, who's it hurting? It's like drinking poison and hoping the other person dies. It's like, this is how disease is formed, dis-ease. And so, letting it go. Love does not delight in evil. That one's easy, right? It doesn't feel good to be evil and love. It's like, obviously, two sides of the same coin in a sense, though. You do evil backwards is live, right? So it's there for a purpose, but the choice is, what part of it all do you want to experience? Love certainly feels a lot better than that. Love rejoices with the truth. It's like, the truth truly does set you free. Love is synonymous with truth. Like, the more true you are, the more you are aligned with being love, right? It is always true. Even if you speak the truth, even if your voice trembles, even if it hurts, even if it's, just deceiving the only act, all deception is an act of self-deception. And so living true is being loving. And a lot of times people think they're protecting others by not being true. And that's actually not loving at all. It's weak and harmful. Love always protects. And that's a way to protect. Like, I'm going to be real no matter what. Love always trusts. Love expects something to trust, trusting the mystery. One of the keys in the book, trusting. I don't know all the answers. I just know it's happening for the greater good, and I'm here for it. I'm here. I came into physical. I bought the ticket. I'm taking the ride. I'm trusting the mystery. I'm always going to have hope. That's the next one. I'm always hopeful. I'm always expecting. I always have an expectation of goodness somewhere in whatever's coming, with a healthy sense of detachment. And lastly, two more. Love always perseveres. Yeah, it's like, not if you choose to be love, you automatically win. Isn't that like nice to know that you can put down all the calculating of, how do I win? How do I get ahead? How do I be love? What would love do now? That cliche. What would love do now? Love is the answer now. What was the question? That is the answer to every question that's ever been posed. As cliche as it sounds, it's absolutely true, which leads to the very last one. Love never fails. That's it. It's love wins. That's the end of story. And, at the end of I think of my friend, he was years ago, my very funny friend Tyler, he was having a psychedelic experience or something. And, he was on plant medicine, something, and he was just having like profound, sort of downloads about it all. He goes, wow, I see it so clearly now. In the end, you get the girl, and he's thinking of it from his perspective as at the time, probably a 30-year-old guy, and it's just like, in the end, you get the girl, it ain't over if you haven't won, and love never fails. So if you choose to be loving, you're going to, you may lose a battle, but never the war. And so, big picture, it wins. Always, 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 always has, always will. And so it is. Well, I love each and every one of you for tuning in and co-creating this and helping to lift the vibration of the planet. You're so needed. You are as important as anyone ever has been. That's another thing that came through in that channeling, was like, wow, every role is so crucial, beyond what people can begin to calculate. And as soon as you start telling that story about your worth, you'll start seeing it reflected more and more in your life. Otherwise, hope you guys will, take my invitation to get the golden key. We still haven't had as many people listen to the show in a day. We've had a third of the people that listen to the show in a day download the book, which is still a lot. But, it's like there's so many of you guys out there who haven't checked it out. And it's truly 25 years of, my deep exploration of these topics distilled into a 3-hour listen or 100-page read. And it is carrying so many codes and keys that I just love sharing. And I hope you will go to goldenkey.gift, download the audio or ebook, and with the code POSITIVEHEAD, and then come join the Golden Game. We're starting to get some energy in there. People are starting to share their stories of abundance, and there's been some really cool stuff, including my own personal story of abundance that was pretty awe-inspiring that happened right after releasing the book. So I just shared that in there as well. So anyway, that's it for today. I do have a song to leave you with, Tarlabasi, and the artist is B. Svensson. Very cool, vibey track. Hope you enjoy. Till next time, journey well. Love you so, so much.